Hello, 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 hello. Hopefully we don't have any issues like we did last week. I still did not figure out what was going on there. I tried to look into it. No idea what was going on. So hopefully that was just a fluke and we won't have any issues. Haven't had any in the past. Ash and David, hello, hello. Wow, you guys were just biting at the bit. Like you guys had to have just been sitting there waiting for the stream to start, which I love. But hello. I'm gonna give everybody a minute to get in. Aw, I hope you're doing okay, Ash. Aaron is here, which means Bryston is here. Ash, look, you have the #1 crown right now. I think you guys might be fighting for the hierarchy here. So it's weird, it's only showing, okay, it's only showing that there's one, and then it jumped, as I started to say that just to make me look bad, it jumped to 10. Dude, I didn't want my hands ironed. Better now with my people. Oh, we're your people. So anybody that might be joining us, we did have some new people come in. I feel so, this is going to be my win. This is going to be my snaps for the week. So I'll circle back around it. But the efforts that we were putting in and stuff seem to have been paying off and getting some of the views a little higher and then getting this one back into the algorithm. So when we did the Save the Stream or the Save the Channel stream a few weeks ago, I think that it's actually paid off in the efforts of trying to push videos out and trying to get the channel revived. So hopefully all of the issues that we're having there as well have been resolved and we can just continue doing the reactions, doing the other content, and we won't have any future issues with YouTube or the algorithm trying to suppress things. So I think that that's all resolved too. But I did notice we had some new people in the community. So if this is your first stream, welcome. If this is your millionth stream, welcome back. You know, I appreciate you guys either way. I love meeting new people, but I also like the comforts of the familiar faces and stuff. So if this is your first stream, this is just something I do every couple of weeks to give people the opportunity to talk about their mental health. We can share our struggles, but then also share your wins. So if you do share a struggle, I always encourage you to balance that with a win. And as I say over in the community, everybody has a win, whether you just got up today and put your feet on the floor, you got started in therapy, you got a journal, whatever the case is, everybody has a win. So we will go through both of those. We'll do a good news story. We'll share, we'll celebrate, we'll freak out a little bit because that's where my energy's at lately sometimes. But for those of you that are new, I am not a licensed professional. So if you are in need of help, make sure that you're reaching out either by dialing 988 on the suicide hotline here in the US. I also link the suicide hotlines by country below. I just said the S word. Oh, YouTube might suppress me again. The hotlines by the crisis lines by country in the descriptions of all my videos, including my streams. So any advice or feedback that I give is just based on my experience or the experiences of others that I've interacted with, others that I've helped. So please make sure that you're getting the support that you deserve. But with that being said, I think that there's a lot of value in community support, and that's why I do this. I do think that there is a time and a place for professional support, but I think there's also a time and a place for community support. With this stream, if you want to make sure I see a message, please make sure to use the super chat or super sticker function. If you become a member of the channel, you'll get one of those per stream, I believe. You'll get one super chat or super sticker for each stream. I don't know why I just repeated myself. You can tell my energy is a little all over the place. New motherhood will do that to you. But we have a goal of reaching $250 in pledges for the stream, and then that goes toward my mental health outreach. I think the stream is for my outreach and not for me. It's going to be for my outreach and not for me. If you want to specify a pledge for me personally, you could do that in the super chat or super sticker function. I almost forgot, if you are going to make a bigger pledge, please make sure that you are doing that through PayPal or Venmo so that all of that is going toward the outreach and stuff, so they don't take more of a fee, because YouTube does take a fee. Oh my gosh, so many messages already. So I'll be tracking that, but The package will be going out to the teacher tomorrow that we had been putting together, with a lot of good things for the kids. We have books, we have plushies, we have supplements, we have a diffuser and oils, stuff like that. So for those of you that are joining for the first time, I will just do community projects and stuff as people ask. We pay for therapy. That's another thing. Just whatever we can do to help the community. There's never a shortage of people reaching out to me and asking for support in different ways to help with their mental health. So I take on as many as I can based on the pledges and donations I get here and through Patreon. So the teacher that we've been helping out here as a community, apparently had been sharing with some of her teacher friends and like a teacher group she's on. And this teacher group isn't just for teachers in her area. It's just for teachers to get together and support each other and talk and offer resources and stuff, I guess, from what it sounds like. And I guess she was talking to another teacher about our project and about what we're doing to help her. And this other teacher had the school had their art program cut, their entire art and music program, which I was just, okay. That did not make me happy. I was very frustrated. I'm sure you guys can understand that, because those are so therapeutic for kids. And she said that she was noticing a difference within the first couple of weeks of this happening. She was noticing the difference in the kids' behaviors, in the kids' demeanors, that they were just seeming more sluggish. They were a little bit more aggressive, which I thought, wow, that quick? You would see the results of that quick? But she said that the kids were just acting out more. This is what the teacher said. So I'm hearing this through the teacher we're working with currently. But she shared some of the screen shots of the conversation. But she was saying that they were feeling this already. And I'm like, oh, she said on a teacher's salary, there's no way that we can get instruments or that we can get art supplies and stuff for these kids. So that is going to be the next project, is helping this other teacher through the art supplies and the music supplies and stuff, because the school just won't give them anything at this point. Like, won't even give the teachers anything to be able to get more stuff for the children. She said that she wants to get them herself, but can't. Like, neither of these teachers have the funding to be able to do this. So that's going to be the project over the next couple of weeks, with the funds from this is to help out that teacher. And like I said, I'm hoping that they'll send pictures of the classroom without the kids, of course, so that we can see how everything works out. So many messages, and I feel like I just rambled a lot. So a lot of messages. Let me just kind of browse through a little bit. The talent and X is stressing the hell out today, attempting to stay away from politics. Excellent strategy. But scary stuff is happening in my hometown. I hope peaceful people stay safe and predators get stopped. I hope that for you too. I don't know where you're at. I don't know where you're at, but I hope that everyone is safe, and that the people that are being rebel rousers either have justice served or are in some way calmed, in some way subdued in a positive way, of course. Oh my God. Yes, David, I'm still traumatized by the Briscoe ending. Good grief. So I finished Briscoe with Aaron this last week. So this is the fourth time that I've watched the show through as an adult. And the ending is not what I remember. And I was obsessed with the show as a kid. And the ending is not how I remember it being. I remember there being more after this, but there's not. And I did look it up. I did look into it. Because I was freaking out. I literally called one of my close friends, and I was freaking out, asking, how do you remember The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. ending? Because this is not okay. And he said, I didn't watch the ending. What do you mean you didn't watch the ending? Yes, you did. I know you did. Ah! So I was really stressing out about that a little bit this week. I did find out that apparently when the network aired the episodes, they aired them differently because there had been an issue with the network that had caused them to change the trajectory of the show. So it did end up getting aired differently the first time. I said, but I've only watched as an adult off of my DVD set, I think. So it's really weird that I would still remember how they aired it when I was a kid. Anyway, yeah, that's my freak out for the week. Apparently, someone said I was glowing because T. Montgomery says, "Hey, resident Ripsecutioner, her glow is from her pumpkin spice t-shirt." I was going for fall vibes, okay. But then Bryson came to me this morning and says, "You look like Velma from Scooby-Doo," and now I can't unsee Velma from Scooby-Doo. So, what do you guys think? Are you getting fall Halloween vibes, or do you think Velma from Scooby-Doo? Either way, I mean, she's cool, she's smart. I can rock the nerd. Chris Bushel says, "Hi guys, I'm struggling at the moment. It's not nice. So if you'd like to share anything that we can hold space for, if there's anything specific going on, feel free to let us know and maybe we can talk through it." I only stream on YouTube. I don't have a Twitch or stream on Twitch. An Amanda plushie, would she be holding a book or a saw knife? Don't be ridiculous. It's not a knife. It's a saw. Come on. Or maybe a Dexter knife. Okay, I kind of tried to look over. Hey, Eugene. David saying, "I hate when art, sports, and shop classes get cut. Math and science are how we live. Art is the reason why we live." Oh, that is beautiful. I love that. I think it's insane that they continue cutting all of what they consider to be extracurricular, not extracurricular, like extra activities when they're still relevant. And this teacher is seeing an immediate change in her children's mental health and in the children. I think she said they're fourth grade, in the children's mental health and in their demeanor, their behavior, their emotions, their mood. And I'm just, that is tragic. Like, think about how many teachers aren't able to do anything about that. And obviously we can't help them all. It'd be great. I will help as many as I can. I think that this might be a new thing, that maybe we can start helping, students and stuff, and that can be an ongoing project, kind of like the therapy, so long as we have enough. And I will do as much as I can with the pledges that we get. But that's going to be this upcoming project. And I did include some art stuff in the box. I'm going to have to post a picture. I thought it would be ready. I still have a few things I want to add before I ship tomorrow. I thought it would be ready, but I will post a picture over in the community. So somewhere probably in the next day or two, I will post that picture so everybody can see what we are shipping out. So I'm very excited about it. Matt Meaden says, "Does anyone on this channel realize that when you are going to psychosis, you can feel it coming on?" That's an excellent question. I can't, I've never been diagnosed as having any kind of psychosis, so I can't speak to that on a personal level. I know that I can feel when a panic attack or even a mental breakdown. I have gone into several full-blown mental breakdowns that I personally would consider psychosis, and I say that with a psych degree. I do have a bachelor's in forensic psychology. I would say that it probably could have been considered psychosis. It did check the boxes for it, but it wasn't officially diagnosed. And yes, I could very much sense when I started to slide in that direction. Is there anyone else that's had experience with this, like maybe more formal psychosis? I can feel when I'm sliding into that, when I'm going into a breakdown. Yeah, I can absolutely sense it. Hensick Nation says, "When I struggle within my mind over people, I don't know if I'm the right or wrong consciously. Anyone relate?" Yes, so much. I so much relate with that. I've had a big shift lately with people where, as you guys know, I've lost most of my close friends and stuff in this postpartum, or most of them left before I had the baby. But either before or in this postpartum time, I ended up losing almost every single one of my close friends, except one or two. And there is a part of me, I think it's healthy, first and foremost, to reflect on this, to say, okay, could I have done things differently? Was I in the wrong? Did I do some things wrong? Is there a balance? I think that's really healthy. So I think that it's great that you're reflecting on that in the first place. A lot of people don't. They just assume they're right. But I think that something that's really helped me, there's a couple things that have helped me. Number one is taking a step back and saying, okay, if I look at this from an objective perspective, so if I were to hear this exact same situation from a friend, ironically, what would I say to them? Would it be the tough love, like, hey, you're kind of you're kind of really in the wrong here. Like, I think that you could have handled this better. Or would I say, you know what, girl, you're fine. Like, that is all them. And in a lot of these situations, I'm going, it's kind of all them. But the other thing that you can do, if they're communicating with you through messages, like through text messages or through chat or whatever, through email, is legitimately take it and plug it into ChatGPT. This is one of the few things that I really think ChatGPT is great for. And don't say which side is which. Just say, are either sides of this conversation toxic? Or are either sides of this conversation, is either person being unreasonable? So make sure to word it in a way that you're not, okay, this is me and this is my friend, am I right? Because then ChatGPT might sway more to your side. But I have gotten so much validation from that. So much validation that, okay, this isn't me. This is all you. And there was a case with one of my friends where it was, you know what, I really appreciate that it told me that there were things I could have done better, because then I can take that moving forward. So that's a positive way to use AI. Ryan is the start today to our 250 goal. Thank you so much, Ryan. I am old school. I still write this down. I know that if you use, I think, StreamYard or something, you can track it all. That's great, but I am completely mom brain inept. I'm completely inept at using StreamYard and stuff. So you get good old marker and whiteboard here. Let's see. Dean Kelly, hello, Reverend Dean. I feel like I'm missing a whole conversation. I'm really sorry. I try to read as many as I can. I do want to read a good news story. So before we forget about that, we're 17 minutes in. We usually do this a little bit earlier, but I was getting carried away with all of the messages and stuff. So this is a good news story that I wanted to share today. Instead of snacks and soda, these vending machines dispense free pregnancy tests and Narcan. In the lobby of the YMCA in Reading, Pennsylvania, stands a row of vending machines, but one machine is different from the rest. Instead of stocking chips or soda, this vending machine has drug testing strips, hygiene kits, socks, soap, wound care supplies, and naloxone, a medication also known by its brand name, Narcan, that is used to reverse opioid overdoses, all completely free. The Health to Go vending machine has been in the Reading YMCA for over a year. Another one is in Harrisburg outside of the UPMC Harrisburg Emergency Department. The machines list the names of resources such as mental health care, food banks, housing assistance, and substance use disorder treatment on the screen and provide contact information and a QR code to scan for more info. We're a physician and assistant professor of family and community medicine and a criminal justice professor at Penn State University and have been part of a collective effort to put these two Health to Go vending machines in place. The vending machines are part of a growing movement in the United States to provide easy access to harm reduction resources, naloxone, wound care kits, and more. Harm reduction vending machines became popular in cities across the U.S. during the COVID-19 pandemic, when people could not easily access in-person services and when drug overdose deaths also rose dramatically. Most machines dispense naloxone nasal spray to reverse overdoses and other items such as syringes and fentanyl test strips. Some, like the Health to Go machines, also offer general health and hygiene items such as soap, toothpaste, and toothbrushes and pregnancy tests. If a person is seen at the machine, they could be getting a toothbrush and socks, or they could be getting naloxone. No one watching would necessarily know. Also, the nature of the vending machine means the people using them don't need to interact with a person to obtain Narcan or drug testing strips, as many people with substance use disorder feel stigma or embarrassment about their addiction. I can say from history that is absolutely true. The Health to Go vending machines are interactive with a large touchscreen in the front. It's connected to Wi-Fi and cellular data and is able to capture anonymous information on how people are using the machine. It can also ask users survey questions to get their feedback, such as whether there are other items they would like to see in the machine or whether they think the machine is having an impact on reducing stigma or substance use. These machines in Pennsylvania, where over 3,300 people died of drug overdose in 2024, down from over 5,300 in 2021, are funded by grants from Penn State College of Medicine, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, UPMC Pinnacle Foundation, and opioid settlement funds from Dauphine and Berks counties. I think that is amazing. I hope that this becomes something that just spreads across the country. Thank you so much, David. David, member for 14 months. I think you're one of the longest standing members. I still remember what my grandmother told me. Different doesn't mean wrong. You can have a different opinion from someone else and neither be wrong. Is this a response to something, or is this talking about the vending machines? Did I miss a message? I feel like I probably missed a message. But yes, that is, if you remember, this is one of the perks you get is these messages. Whoa. Timberlake contracted Lyme disease? How did I not hear about this? Okay, I guess I am just out of the in sync loop, as you can see. Love my boys. I didn't hear about this. I've been following him for a while. Welcome! It's Robin TTTV Gaming. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the pack. Oh yes, the little emojis that Aaron is using. Also, I'm going to add new members. I'm going to add that to the total of the stream. But yeah, you can use the little emojis. You get special emojis that you can use. So you get to use those, and you also get a sticker that highlights a message so I can see that. Those are some of the perks that you get with channel membership. So thank you so much for joining. It's a great way to support the community. Oh, David says it was it was a response to Headsick asking about being right or wrong. You know, I like that. Yeah, that's a good point, that it doesn't always necessarily even have to be that way. I feel like a lot of the times we try to make it an us versus them situation when it's not always that way. It's not always one person's right and one person's wrong, although I want to say sometimes it is. Sometimes one person really just is wrong. Matt says, somebody please help me to suppress my voices. How do we tell the difference between intrusive thoughts and reality? That is something that I highly suggest talking to a professional with, because that's not something that other people can give you insight about. It is often the case that if you're actually hearing voices, that there's going to have to be medication to manage those. Now, if you're just talking about intrusive thoughts, that's a completely different thing than actually having auditory hallucinations. So intrusive thoughts are when you're driving and you have that call to the void. Like, I could just like swerve, my car right now in front of the semi. That's more intrusive thoughts. Or, I could totally just push this person down the stairs right now. Those are more intrusive thoughts. They can get quite violent. They can get quite gory. Mine do. That's actually my struggle this week that I wanted to share. So like I said, I always encourage we share a struggle and then a win, and we're going to get to our wins. But my struggle has actually been really, really upsetting nightmares. Like, some of them are very violent and some of them are just very upsetting, and some of them aren't frightening in the traditional sense, or aren't violent, but are very distressing. So I've been having a lot of distressing imagery in my head, and distressing thoughts and dreams and nightmares about Aurora, about the friends that I have parted ways with. Say it that way. I've really been struggling with that. So that's my big struggle, is I've dreamed about my former best friend 4 or 5 times in the last week. It's really weighing on me. I'm not really making much headway in processing that, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm talking to my therapist about it, but it's just really not processing right now. It's just stuck there. I'm stuck in the processing phase right now, so it's not to the point of acceptance. So that is my struggle this week. Eugene saying happened last month, I think, or am I misinformed? I have no idea. Let's look this up. I mean, that's my future husband after all. I should probably when I go to search Justin Timberlake, strangely, it still tries to bring up Justin Timberlake half-eaten French toast. But that happened in the 90s, guys. Are we still talking about that? Oh, he announced in late July. Wow, I'm really out of the loop. He'd been diagnosed with Lyme disease. Wow. Okay. Well, that's heavy. I hope that he's getting the treatment and stuff for that. Now I'm going to sit here and worry about my Justy. T. Montgomery says 100% what Amanda is saying, though sometimes the voices are real, but it takes a huge amount of help. I really like the quote in Harry Potter where Harry is talking to Dumbledore and he says, is this place real? Or is this place real or is it in my head? And Dumbledore says, of course it's in your head, Harry. Why should that mean it's not real? And it's true because it's real to us. My mom used to work at a psych ward. And she said that there were many times where she would have to, throw snakes and stuff out the window because people were hallucinating. Now they are finding that it's usually not beneficial to play into a person's hallucinations and stuff like that. But sometimes she said if you were in a particular situation, I've talked to other people who work at psych wards and they say sometimes when you're in a particular situation, it still can be appropriate to go along with it until you can bring them down a little bit. If they're not listening to reason. But I remember my mom talking about that because she said it's real to them. And I've woken up and had false awakenings and just freaked out when I actually came to, because those things are real to us. When I was going through the really bad insomnia, I was having auditory hallucinations, and it's real to us, and it's scary, and that's not something to mess around with. That's something that can really inhibit your life, and I highly suggest seeking treatment for. Snape fan over here too. Yes, always believed in him. That's why I have the always tattoo. Oh, Emo WY says, I lost an uncle last month on August 22nd, and I lost an aunt from cancer on this September 4th. Amanda, I'm so sorry. That is hard to lose them both close together. Were they a couple? Was it the aunt and uncle that were married? I'm just curious. It's really tragic. I hope that you can find a way to honor them and remember them and move through the stages of grief with as much comfort as possible. Vince Event says, hi, Amanda. I've been watching you for over a year. I'm happy to say I'm 1 year sober of alcohol. Yay! Preliminary snaps. I'm very proud of you. That is amazing. That is hard. The first year, that feels so good because I've already got a year, at that point, I felt like when I hit my first year, that was when it really sank in of I can't go back, with substances, a different substance for me. But I just remember hitting that year and going, yeah, I can't turn back now. I can't lose my streak. Are you kidding me? I live for my streaks. We are at halfway, and we're only 15 to our 250 pledge. So got to get our pledges and donations up. In the meantime, I am going to do our wins. So before each stream, within the couple days before the stream, I'll always post over in the community so that you can share your win, and then I'll read it on stream. We'll all celebrate with snaps. It is inspired by Legally Blonde 2. I have a snap cup inspired by Elwood's from Legally Blonde 2, and it comes with the Snap Cup song. So everybody, I expect you to be singing. I need to imagine that you are singing this on the other side of the screen. So type your snaps in here as we do this, but snap cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a snap cup. Oh, David, I read that as I was singing, and it almost psyched me out. Last time I was just really tired and had the mom brain going on and forgot the Snap Cup song. That's how you know that I'm going crazy. So feel free to share your wins here. It's going to get crazy as I'm trying to read these. So again, you can use that super chat or super sticker function so that I see the message and to help us try to reach that 250 goal. So Dead Demon says, I was in a toxic relationship with someone from another country. I even flew to her just to meet her, but drugs were bad and I was left with a scattered heart. But someone has snapped the Great Depression I was wallowing in and have been happier with actual hope. I'm very happy that you have snapped out of that, so to speak, that you're on the other side of that. Big snaps for that. Big snaps for holding on. I know breakups can be really hard, and it's very difficult when we have that moment where you just realize that somebody's not who you thought they were. Maybe they're struggling with something that you can't manage, and nor should you have to, when you're in a situation like this. And I'm glad that you recognize it's toxic. I'm glad that you got to the other side of it, that you're away from it, and that you're healing, that you have hope. I'm very happy for you for that. So big snaps. Carol says, hi, Amanda from Poland. I start watching you because I am depressed and your motivation made for my life. Sorry for my English. No worries. A lot of it, most people here in America can't even speak their own language, let alone a second language. Kudos to you for trying to learn English and doing pretty well with it. I'm glad that my content can help you and provide motivation. I hope this stream also gives you further motivation. And I'm glad that it's really crazy to me that the channel is reaching people, all over the world, and bringing in people to the community from just everywhere. That's crazy to me. I love just thinking about all of these different people all over the world right now watching the stream and participating. T. Montgomery says, no wins for me, or no wins this week for me. Rather down, honestly. Tomorrow's my birthday, and it feels like just another day. Wait a second. When was this posted? Because I posted this yesterday. So I'm guessing that the birthday was either today or tomorrow, depending on when this is posted. I think you might have to start singing again. You might have to listen to me sing twice today. So that was a day ago. So I think it's T. Montgomery's birthday. So I think we need to sing for T. Montgomery. So everyone type in your cakes and your happy birthdays and your celebrations. But I am going to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear T. Happy birthday to you. And many more. My dad always had to do that every time we say happy birthday. He always have to go, and many more at the end. So seriously, happy birthday. I'm sorry that it feels like just another day. Hopefully you can get some good energy from this. I'm giving you the look. I was giving you the look in the beginning because I always say that you always have a win. Even if the only win was getting out of bed this morning, that is how we build the foundation for everything else. We can't build a foundation if we don't have that. So just getting out of bed this morning, you definitely had a win. You showed up here for yourself, for your mental health. On your birthday, no less. You could be doing anything right now, and you showed up with us just to have that community, build that community. So you still have a win, and I'm going to give you extra snaps for your birthday. Donald Stefanovich says, now approaching 1 year, 10 months, no alcohol. Yay! My mental wellness has improved. I love that you said mental wellness has improved dramatically in that time frame. I can tell because you're saying mental wellness. So that's a good sign. I had no idea how much alcohol had control over my mental wellness. I've learned, discovered, and rediscovered things about myself I thought I knew. I was down before I was up. That's to be expected. I've reinvented myself and will continue. To anyone reading or hearing this, be bold in taking the first step in the direction you know is right. It may be dark, it will be unfamiliar, and you may feel out of sorts. It's new, give it time. It takes time to grow into the greater person you will become. Be brave, be honest, don't expect to be the best you can be. Approach everyday problems with vim and vigor to give it all some meaning. Well, snaps to you for your 1 year, 10 months. You're stealing my thunder here, all right? Like, you're giving all this great advice, and you're really stealing my thunder. I'm just kidding. I think that is a really good reminder, because they always portray it in the movies, or at least I see it portrayed in TV shows and movies, where it's, okay, you have that moment where you're rock bottom, you're using or you're drinking and you hit rock bottom. And then you make that decision and you say, okay, I'm gonna go into recovery, and you take that step. In the movie, it's just maybe you have a little montage, maybe you don't, but then practically the next day you're healed and you're great and everything's awesome. That's not how it works. That is not reality for 99.9% of people. You do, as you said it, you're down before you were up. And that's so very true when it comes to recovery. Is it's going to be really bad before it gets good, but the good is worth waiting for and fighting for, and you can really reinvent yourself through that. I think it's amazing that you have taken control. I know I go against the grain on this, but I do think we have control over our impulses. I think sometimes to the point we need help, but I do think that that's still within our control to seek help. Does that make sense? I think that saying I'm powerless, I'm helpless, that was the reason I didn't want to go to any kind of meetings, is because I think that we can take control, even if that control looks like saying, hey, I need help. I need medications maybe to help me get in that direction. That's still within our control. We're still doing things. So in my world, it was just, if I say I don't have control, then I'm just going to spiral. I'm just going to continue relapsing. So I love that you were saying that it did have control over your mental wellness. Yeah, because we're giving up that control. We're giving up our control in that case. Yeah, I love the motivation to other people. It will be unfamiliar, and that's what I think causes so many of us to backslide, is because the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, and it can be really hard when this has brought you comfort. Like, let's be real, we turn to these things because they provide something for us. They provide comfort. They provide some kind of escape. So when we're moving into that unfamiliar and we have to find other things to do that, and we have to find other ways to cope, you can feel very disoriented. It can feel very overwhelming, but you can get through it. Donald gave us a great reminder that you can get through it. Donald's living proof. I'm living proof. You can get to the other side of it. You absolutely can. So big snaps. We got some long ones today. I love it. Oh, thank you, Emo WY. Aw, thank you. BFF. Goran Hejdi. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm sorry. Goran Hejdi, I think is how you say this. Thank you for what you do for mental health. Have had some experience concerning that with my son. Don't have a solution. Just try to catch him and show him love in dark moments. A part of our way of dealing with it has been to support him in things he likes. That's excellent. But think that we got him a little cat helped a lot. He was just 7 when he got his first personal therapeutic, TERAPEUT. Are any of my Swedish friends in here? I think that means therapist in Swedish, if I remember correctly. Don't ask why I know that, but I think that means therapist in Swedish, so first therapist. Now he's a grown man, but still there are occasions with darkness. At 30, he still has his mental four-legged support and a beautiful girl at his side. First and foremost, big snaps to you for stepping up as a parent and understanding, that the best thing you can do is show somebody love in dark moments, at their darkest moments, because even if it doesn't change the trajectory immediately, it plants the seeds and it shows them that they're not alone. And oftentimes that's what somebody needs more than anything in the world when they're in that place. So you are doing amazing. You've been doing amazing. Now that you're saying that they're 30, that at 7 they got their first therapist, you had to be the one to initiate that and help them in that. So great. You're doing great. Grown man, still occasions with darkness. Look, we all have occasions with darkness. I am a grown woman and I still have moments, even through all my healing, even with all my skills. Once you've been there, your brain will slide back. I think everybody's brain slides back, to be honest. I think everybody's brain goes to a dark place, at least sometimes in their life, no matter how happy they are, no matter how optimistic and positive they are. Everybody's goes there sometimes. Yes, I was right, David. David confirmed I was right, that I apparently knew the Swedish word for therapist. I probably didn't say it right. Therapeut. I don't speak Swedish, but I did know that word for some reason. But yeah, you're gonna go into those bouts sometimes, and it's completely normal. It sounds like you have shown them a lot of support. You've taught them a lot of skills. You've showed him what he can do to get through that. Like, you got him the therapist, you had gotten him a little cat, and now he has this mental four-legged little support. Trust me, that makes a huge difference as someone who also has a dog. Not a cat, but I have a dog, and I do dog sitting and dog boarding as my day job. It really makes a difference being around our little fur friends, and you're saying a beautiful girl. So I think that you did amazing as a parent, and I think that your son is doing amazing, even if he struggles from time to time. And he's welcome here as well. Obviously, you can invite him to the community if he ever needs to talk or share or open up. Big snaps to you and to your son. T. Montgomery says, say it like the Swedish chef. Sorry, coping with childish humor. I love the Muppets. I really do. My ex almost ruined the Muppets for me, but I still love the Muppets. Is Swedish chef considered offensive now? I mean, I don't think I can do a very good Swedish chef. You have to make a pledge for that one. Sorry. You have to make a pledge for that one, T. I am not risking that one without a pledge to the community. And then I will try to mimic the Swedish chef. Ash Carr says, when I thought I couldn't take one more painful breath, I reached out and someone who cared saved me. One more day, I'm here. And it'll be one more day after this and one more day after that. And that's all you have to do is that one more day. So I'm very glad that you're here one more day. And I'm very proud of you for reaching out, because that is the biggest thing that we can do. David Gap says, I wore a stuffed parrot on my shoulder when I went grocery shopping. I made several people smile at me. David, I think I need to share that picture over on the community page. Do I have permission to do that? Do I have permission to share that over on the community page? Because I think everybody needs to see this. David had, in fact, sent this picture to me, so I can verify that this is the truth. He actually did this. It was adorable. It made people smile. So snaps to you for being able to connect with your inner child and make people smile, make people laugh. Even if it's something that there's probably one person that's going, oh my gosh, what's wrong with him? Well, he's mental. I hope that you were also wearing your I'm mental shirt. I don't remember what you were wearing, but I hope you were wearing the I'm mental shirt while you were doing it. Matt says, what is your opinion on antipsychotic medication side effects? Well, it depends on the antipsychotic. A lot of different antipsychotics, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, they all have different side effects, and those side effects can change person to person. I've never personally been on antipsychotics. I've been on antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds, and I can't handle the side effects. I can't do it. I had to get off of them because the side effects were worse than the depression itself, and that's saying something considering, how bad that got and where it pushed me. But I think that I'm trying to think of how to say this. Like, I think that there's times where antipsychotic medication is absolutely necessary, and the only thing that can be done is mitigating the side effects. The person has to be on something, and it's on the doctor, it's on that person to do the best they can to mitigate and minimize those side effects. But with that being said, I do think that with all antipsychotic, antidepressant, anti-anxiety medications, that it shouldn't be the first order of business or like the first effort in situations. There are cases where that's obviously going to be what the person needs, but it shouldn't be our default that we are trying. So I think that some of them are downright scary. Some of them are downright terrifying. I've seen some really, really scary side effects. Bye, Ash. I'll see you soon. I've seen some really, really horrific ones. I've experienced some horrific side effects, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So I definitely think that those should be kind of a last resort, or used very sparingly in cases where they are really truly needed. T. Montgomery says, for me, meds are a tool to heal, not something I want to take for the rest of my life. And that is true, I think, with a lot of medication. Like anti-anxiety medication can be something to get you over that hump. In the case of antipsychotics, I think that in many cases they would be something that would be needed for life, because it might be something that someone with schizophrenia might take, and they're going to need that for life. And of course, that's perfectly reasonable. But I think that we need to be doing research on how we can develop medications that don't have these awful side effects. That should definitely be a point of research. Gabriel Lawyer says, I showed up for an interview with blows on Saturday with big snaps. I hope that you get it. Good luck with that. Big snaps to you for getting a job interview and for showing up, and best of luck in getting that. Happy Sunday, Anthony. David says, when I ask myself about medication, I ask if I'm better with the meds and the side effects than not. I know it's different, but my life is so much better with my RA meds, including the side effects. Exactly. And I absolutely think that you should continue taking those, and I think that for each person it's different, and weighing that and saying, okay, can I be a functioning person without these medications? Are there other alternatives? Just really talking to your medical professional, your doctor, as well as, maybe talking to other doctors. If your current doctor isn't listening, that was a big problem I had when it came to this, was they just weren't listening. We only have 15 minutes left before I have to go for dinner. I think we have 3 or 4 more of these. So hopefully we will get some pledges in that time so we can get closer to our goal. Rob Homeless says, still can't get through a minute of your videos without having to stop and get more tissue. Oh, I'm making people cry. But I will be missing a key support from me for a couple of weeks, and I have not catastrophized yet. I will be okay. Have you ever heard this song? And it's a link. Still makes me cry today. I'm not sure what that link is. Rob Homeless, if you're in here, let me know what that is, and I'll let you know if I've heard it before. Otherwise, I'll check later. But I'm sorry for making you cry, but it sounds like it's in a therapeutic and healing way. I'm sorry that you're missing your key support, but I think it's awesome that you haven't catastrophized, that you know you're going to be okay, even though you're missing the support. You know it's going to be a struggle. Hopefully you're able to make a plan. Hopefully you're able to use your skills to get through those couple of weeks. So snaps to you for that realization. That's a powerful place to get to. It can be very hard to realize I'm going to be okay even when things are difficult. Knowing that you have the skills, you can do it, you can get through the couple of weeks. Just turn to that toolbox right now. And if you need help coming up with tools, that is what we are here for. Thank you so much, David and Polly the parrot. Really, Polly, you're going to be that cliche, David? I think you can do better than that. I think that little parrot needs a more unique name. Next thing, you're going to be feeding her crackers, and they're not even going to be gluten-free. And I just assumed your parrot's gender. Yes, I did. Emo says, I've been having problems and pains with my right knee. I don't know if it's ACL injury. I hope that you get that figured out. That sounds. I've been actually having issues with my wrist, my left wrist, and I have no idea what it is. But I hope that you get it figured out. I hope it resolves. The Talent X says, I had to leave for a bit. Did anyone suggest how to cope with anxiety in the face of uncertainty with an overflow of available online information? First and foremost, get off the internet. No, I'm just kidding. Stay here with us. That's a tricky one, because I think that we as humans all have anxiety about uncertainty. I think it's natural. I think that that's why we struggle with the idea of death, is because we don't know what's on the other side, so there's that uncertainty, and we try to come up with explanations. We try to come up with comforts. I think that, I didn't see this question earlier. I think that when it comes to specifically uncertainty, I don't want to say focus on what you can control, because that's cliche. But I think that in a situation, say that you are going on vacation, and you don't know what this vacation is going to be like, having certain things that you very purposefully control, that you very purposefully do because you know kind of what the outcome is going to be, or how that's going to play out. So leaning into as many comforts, as many familiar things as you can, to give yourself a sense of control, a sense of comfort, a sense of familiarity. So incorporating those, but also having a skill set for dealing with the anxiety as it comes up. So say you're going on this vacation, you don't know how it's going to turn out. Say you start getting anxiety on the plane. if you have planned in advance, okay, if I get anxiety on the plane, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to splash some water on my face. I'm going to take deep breaths. Having the wherewithal to think, okay, if XYZ happens, this is how I'm going to handle it. And having kind of a game plan for the different scenarios, that's what helps me. That really helps me when I'm getting anxiety about uncertainty, is having a game plan, making a game plan, because it puts me back in control. So even if I don't know how it's going to play out, I can kind of say, okay, well, if it goes this way, I'm going to do this. If this happens, I'm going to do this. And just having a game plan. I hope that helps. Yeah, David, that's exactly right. Online sources want to keep eyes on their product. They do that by feeding into our fears and dislikes to pull us in. This magnifies things and makes life seem worse than it really is. Yeah, that's every product ever. And I think that when it comes to the internet now, everybody's an expert. That's why I say in the beginning, I'm not an expert. I'm just giving you my advice based on my experiences, and sure, based on my education as well. But for the most part, I don't want to trap you here for forever. I don't want to create an atmosphere where you feel like you're just addicted, or you feel like you have to continue consuming my videos or taking my course or whatever the case is to heal. You can do that on your own. My videos can help. My course can help. These different things can help, but that's on you. So I do want to share something. This is kind of hard to share, but Erin and I have decided that we are doing another project. So far there's only one video that Erin just did yesterday. I want to give Erin big snaps for this too. I don't know if he's still listening, but I want to give Erin big snaps for this, because he went out of his comfort zone. He overcame his fears, overcame his anxiety, and we've decided that we're going to do a little kind of pet project together on a channel about atheism, and just sharing some of our thoughts, some of our experiences, some reactions and stuff to different content, some analysis and breakdowns of different content. So if you just can't get enough of me, I will be appearing over on Erin's channel too. Let me grab you the link for that. It's called Abstract Atheist. So we just literally started it in the last couple days. There's only one video over there. Obviously, it's not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. But him and I both have struggled with religious trauma, and we both grew up in religious settings, and just learned not what for us. That's not the direction we that worked for our lives. And so we're wanting now to process that and to just raise awareness and stuff. So if you are interested in that, that is the link. But again, I know it's not for everyone. It's just something that I think is going to help us with our healing, and we're really excited to jump into that. So one more bit of Amanda. Been here. The YouTube channel says, been here for the last 10 minutes eating, forgot to make supper. Hope you're good. I'm going to be eating right after this because I'm starving. I'm always starving on these streams. Man, guys, we've got to move these streams to a little bit earlier because I'm always starving by the time they're done. Anonymous says, for starters, I dropped that course I said was stressing me out. Yes, and I'm feeling a lot better. Also, Poppy, Amy Lee of Evanescence, and Courtney LaPlante of Spirit Box collaborated on a song called Into View, which you should definitely check out. Oh my god, that outfit. Hang on, let me get snaps. Oh, I'm echoing.
Sorry, I listened to you.
Snaps. Look how precious she is.
Whoops.
Oh my gosh, don't drop the baby.
Do not drop the baby.
Do not drop the baby. I have not heard that song, but I definitely will have to check it out. But snaps to you for dropping that course. I can tell you how amazing that is. I had a course I had dropped in school. I think I was talking about that last time, because sometimes you just know what's not good for you. When something is not enough. I was shamelessly plugging you.
Thank you.
Look
I would appreciate
it.
It's just a channel for fun. I mean, I don't expect it to be a big thing, but just different perspective.
Look, she looks like a little fairy princess.
Dress is a little bit big still, but that's okay.
Why you can't upstage me? You can't look prettier than me right now in my Velma shirt. Good quality, baby. Aww.
She's got good graphics.
You have good graphics. I love you. You want to help me read a couple wins? Can you snap? She's gonna snap one day. She's gonna help. She's gonna help snap. Oh, We don't want that in your mouth.
Yeah, the dress is a little bit big, so she's kind of.
It's a 90s cute dress. It does look kind of 90s.
That was a good era, though.
Oh my gosh, you're just so flowery, baby. She's almost taller than you. She's getting there.
Got her little birthmark.
Do you want to help me read this one, baby? Mental Health 37 says, my win is when I finally get to meet my idol, Mental Amanda. I'm someone's idol. I'm touched. Well, hopefully one day our paths will cross. So hopefully one day that will be your win. I'm just giving myself self-snaps right now that I'm someone's idol. It makes me feel very, almost like that's crazy to me. I can't, that's silly. No, that's crazy. I can't even believe that someone would look up to me like that. I'm someone's Justin. I'm someone's Chester. I can't get in there, baby. 4 minutes. We're gonna turn this around. We're gonna hit our pledge here in the last few minutes, and it's just gonna be wild. And it's gonna be a reminder to never give up, that you never know when things are just gonna turn around and happen. So when you think that things aren't gonna happen, they will. So it's just gonna turn around right now. Watch it. Watch it. Jake Smith says, I get to have Sunday afternoons of watching football with Kim. Her and I are watching the Pittsburgh Steelers play in Dublin, Ireland, way too early in the morning, and it's been fun. Snaps to you for being able to have fun and do that, having somebody to enjoy it and share that with. I've been getting to watch old episodes of Monday Night Nitro with Aaron. She's laughing. And sharing that with him, and of course getting to connect with my dad's energy. So, what are you saying, baby? Are you talking? So I know how amazing that can be. So I'm glad that you guys get to share that and get to have that. Now I'm picturing a Buddha-style statue of Amanda as an idol. I don't know if she's laughing or trying to say something, but it's adorable. You're just adorable. I love you. Or spiked blonde hair like Billy Idol. What do you think? I don't want to be worshipped, though. I definitely don't want to be worshipped. No, you can't look at the screen. You can't watch the screen, baby. That's her snap. I've decided that that's her snap. Can you give snaps? Can you see that's amazing? So many people are doing so many good things. They're doing so good. The Billy Idol sneer. I don't think I know the Billy Idol sneer. Tiny Amanda, mini me, and leather. I don't wear leather, but that is weird. That is a weird thought. Y'all are weird, and I love it. I love it. Normal's not cool, huh? We're all so weird. I really love her, guys. I'm really kind of obsessed here. They really need to feed you, poor Amanda. They're making me stay until we reach the pledge goal, so I'm just going to be here for a long time, and I'm going to starve to death. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Are we going to put things in the snap cup together when you're a little older? We're going to put your snaps in there. Billy Idol kind of sneers like Elvis. I've never watched enough Billy Idol to know that. Isn't it Billy Idol on The Wedding Singer? That's Billy Idol, yeah? Am I remembering that correctly? I think that's the only time I've ever really seen Billy Idol. Elvis's sneer's pretty cute, though. No, my shadow is a pleather gal. Come on. Even my shadow would not wear animals. A person says, this is such a wonderful community. Thank you for being here. Well, thank you for being part of the community. A community can only be as wonderful as its members. Unfortunately, we have to start winding down. We'll stay a couple more minutes while she stares at my Dexter sign over there. Gotta teach him young, right? It's a good quote, though. It's okay. Life doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be lived. Dexter Morgan quote. Did everybody just disappear on me? We gotta wrap it up. I don't want to wrap it up. I just want to cuddle you and talk to everyone. So if it resonates with you, in closing, I will say if it resonates with you, come check out our channel that we're doing together, my other project with Erin. So come check that out. I just dropped the link. If you are watching this at a later time and you feel called to make a pledge, you can do so. The link for Venmo and PayPal are in the description below. And if we hit it, I will always post it over in the community. Oh, it's Robin TV Gaming says, I might go for a bit if I don't make it back to watch the rest of your stream. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. And much respect. Robin, thank you so much. I don't know. I'm just going to put 5. I can't do the math right now, so we're just going to put 5. So we are 30 out of our 250 goal. Hopefully we get some more pledges later so that I can help with that project I was talking about with the art and music supplies. I still just think it's heartbreaking that the funding gets cut like this and they don't have any backup plans, and they can't expect teachers to step up on their own. Nope, no screens for you. To step up on their own and do that. So I'm hoping we can get to do that project. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for hanging out with me, my pretty little girl. My pretty, beautiful princess. See, she's the proof that you can't give up, that you can have all the odds stacked against you, that people can tell you it's impossible, that statistically it's a very low probability. It seems impossible. You go through heck. You fight and fight. Oh, just let me a little bit. You fight and fight, and it seems like it's not going to happen, and then it happens. And she's proof of that. So if you are thinking right now of quitting, if you are thinking right now of giving up, if you don't know how you can take another step, if you don't know how you can go on, how you can keep fighting, just know that I felt that way when I was fighting for her. I felt that way every freaking day. I felt that way when I was in the darkness, both going through IVF and back in 2018 when I almost lost my battle. I had those exact same thoughts. But there is another side to it, a very, very beautiful other side to it. And it's so hard to log out when we've been having such a good conversation, and it lifts my energy too, guys. It really does. But you guys don't want to be around me when I'm hungry, all right? You don't want to deal with hungry Amanda. David says, I need a JV Fletcher outfit. If you were here, that would be my Halloween outfit. Okay, so we've been trying to think of a Halloween theme this year. So I want everyone to drop this in the chat. This will be our last thing, is what do you think our Halloween theme should be for our costumes? It has to be something that we can functionally make in the next month and that isn't wildly expensive, because that's not going to happen. But what do you guys think our theme should be? Let me know here. If you're watching this later, let me know in the comments. I've been at a loss. Like, my brain's just not going there. My brain, the creativity stats are down. They're just down. So I will definitely make sure to, I'll give you guys a second to respond, and I'll make sure to check the comments later. You're just drooling everywhere, aren't you, baby? You're just drooling everywhere. Team Montgomery says, as a believer, I also just so much support, get religious trauma. My sperm donor was a pastor until they kicked him out, but not my cup of tea. That's okay. Well, thank you for the support. And I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that not everyone is going to resonate with the content. And that's okay. It's not my intention to say that you can't have your beliefs. I just hope that people, hold space for mine, for my beliefs, for my thoughts, for my experiences, and for the things that I need to do to heal. I hope that people can see that I'm still doing it out of a place of love, even if I can sometimes get frustrated and get upset. I still love people regardless of where they're at on their journey, what they believe in. It's not really important to me as long as they're good people. That's what's most important to me. Oh, somebody said Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Aurora being Snow White. Do you want to be a different princess so you're not Sleeping Beauty? First out the gate. Nightmare Before Christmas. Actually, Bryson and I did Jack and Sally a few years ago, so I think we still have those costumes. Amanda Velma, Aaron Shaggy, Aurora Daphne, B Fred, and Morgan Scooby-Doo. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. That would be so cute. Do you want to be a little Daphne? You would be a beautiful Daphne. B has the blonde Fred hair, and Aaron is a green shirt away from being Shaggy. And all I need are the pants, because I already have the shirt. That would actually probably be pretty easy, other than Morgan being Scooby. Let's see. Yes, add something. I gotta log off, but add something, and then I gotta go. So thank you guys, though. In the meantime, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for the pledges that we got. Thank you for holding space for everyone here in their various parts of their journey, for our struggles, our wins, and our individuality. That we are all different. We are all in different places. We all are our own people with our own beliefs, our own traumas, our own thoughts, our own experiences. And I'm so happy that you guys can hold space for that. It's so hard to find nowadays, right? Of people that can hold space for our differences, as David was saying earlier. Thank you, Emo. Yeah, mental illness can be worse than physical illness is what I would say. Yeah, it absolutely can be. Anonymous says we just applied to adopt a new dog. Good luck. I hope you get it. Dogs are everything. Dogs make the world better. I sometimes feel like I just don't deserve my dog, but I know I do. I know that I deserve her and she deserves me. So I will see you guys soon. Say bye, everybody. Mwah. I'll see you guys soon. I know.